This is Mr. Eugene, and today we're exposing the single most dangerous mistake men make in relationships, the mistake that destroys attraction faster than anything else, the mistake that takes quality men and turns them into options women discard without hesitation. Picture this. You're dating a woman everyone wants, smart, beautiful, catches every eye, and you treat her perfectly. Flowers, expensive dinners, constant attention, good morning texts every day. You're everything her mother told her to look for. But here's what's actually happening. She's bored, she's losing interest, and you don't understand why. And before we get into this, let me tell you why I'm willing to say what every relationship expert dances around. Because I've watched thousands of good men destroy their own relationships through excessive availability and desperate validation seeking. I've counseled men who did everything right according to mainstream advice: be attentive, be generous, be available, and watched women leave them for men who did everything wrong. And I'm tired of watching men suffer because nobody will tell them the uncomfortable truth about how female attraction actually works. So if you're here expecting validation that being the perfect gentleman creates lasting attraction, you're in the wrong place. This is about understanding the psychological mechanisms that actually drive female desire so you can stop repelling women with behaviors you think are attractive. Stay with me. What I'm about to explain will shatter your understanding of relationships. This is harsh truth that 97% of men will never accept. For a woman to truly want you, to stay attracted to you, to remain loyal to you, she must never be 100% certain of your affection. She must always feel like she's reaching up slightly to earn your attention. The moment she feels she has completely won you over, her hunter instinct shuts down. Your predictable availability becomes a burden, not a prize. The biology of female attraction. Let's start with the foundation. Women are biologically programmed to seek men with higher survival value than themselves. They don't decide this consciously. It's wired into their DNA over millions of years of evolution. In ancient times, women who chose men with the best resources, strength, and status were more likely to survive and raise healthy offspring. Women who fell for the nice guy who just brought flowers, their genetic line died out because that guy couldn't protect her from threats or provide resources during scarcity. This programming is called hypergamy, and it's still active in every woman's subconscious today. Even though we live in a world with supermarkets and security systems, her brain is running ancient software. When a woman perceives a man's value as lower than or equal to her own, her attraction circuits shut down automatically. For hundreds of thousands of years, women had to be incredibly selective. Pregnancy made them vulnerable. Raising children required massive resources. A mistake in choosing a partner could cost her and her offspring their lives. This created intense evolutionary pressure where women are only attracted to men who demonstrate superiority in some dimension. These ancient programs are running right now in every interaction you have. When you act needy, desperate, or overly accommodating, you send signals that meant weakness and poor survival chances to our ancestors. Her subconscious catches these signals and reduces attraction immediately. The sexual market value reality dating is a marketplace where everyone has value based on looks, resources, personality, and status. The harsh reality is that women are only truly attracted to men whose value they perceive as higher than their own. And here's the critical mistake men make. They think this value is your job, your car, your muscles. Yes, those matter, but they're not the main thing. The perception of your value depends far more on how you carry yourself, how you interact with her, and most importantly, how badly you need her approval. Here's a real example. I know a successful lawyer. BMW, great shape, high income. He showered women with compliments, took them to expensive restaurants, made himself available 24/7. Despite all the external markers of high value, women lost interest after a few weeks. Compare that to a bartender I know. Lived in a studio apartment, modest income. But he had an abundance mindset. He'd take women for coffee, playfully tease them, never stressed if they didn't text back. Women became obsessed with him, constantly trying to win his attention. The difference? The second guy understood that perceived value matters more than actual value. He carried himself like a man with options. The first guy's behavior screamed, "Please don't leave me," despite his objective success. Women are constantly scanning for behavioral cues about your value. They watch how you handle rejection, how you react to their tests, how you hold yourself in groups. These behavioral markers matter more than your bank account. The psychology of uncertainty. Here's the second critical principle. The less certain a woman is about your interest, the more mental energy she invests thinking about you. This is basic psychology. We value what we're uncertain about. We take for granted what we're sure of. When you immediately show all your cards, text constantly, make your infatuation obvious, shower her with validation, you remove all mystery and challenge. She no longer has to work for your attention. You're giving it away for free. But when you maintain a level of uncertainty, something powerful happens. Her brain starts working. Does he like me? Why didn't he text back? What is he doing? This mental occupation is the foundation of attraction. Picture this scenario. You meet a woman, have a great conversation, exchange numbers. The average guy texts the next day, "Hey, that was an incredible evening." "You're amazing. When can I see you again?" The guy who understands attraction waits 2 to 3 days, then sends a simple message, "Coffee Tuesday at 3 p.m., no excessive enthusiasm." No validation. Just a clear invitation that shows interest without desperation. This leverages a psychological principle called intermittent reinforcement. When we get rewards predictably, we adapt and lose interest. When rewards are unpredictable, we get hooked. Your attention works identically. Give it constantly, she adapts. Give it unpredictably, she gets hooked. Attention as currency, think of your attention, and approval as currency. Like any currency, its value is determined by scarcity. Give away your validation freely, it becomes worthless. Make her earn it, it becomes priceless. Most men make a fatal mistake. They front-load all their validation. They compliment constantly. Agree with everything. Make it clear she's the best thing that ever happened to them. They don't realize they just spent their entire emotional budget in the first week. Women are incredibly skilled at reading your level of investment. She doesn't need you to say, "I love you." She sees it in how fast you reply, how you light up when she enters the room, how you rearrange your schedule for her whims. Here's what you need to understand. Women want to feel special, but they want to earn that feeling. When you give it away for free, it loses all meaning. I had a friend dating a model. She was used to men fawning over her looks. Instead of showering her with compliments about her appearance like everyone else, he would occasionally acknowledge her intelligence when she said something insightful or praise her sense of humor. The key was his validation was conditional. It depended on her behavior, not her existence. She had to earn his approval, which made it 1,000 times more valuable than the empty compliments from other men. The predictability death spiral. One of the fastest ways to destroy attraction is becoming predictable. When she knows exactly how you'll react, when she knows your schedule, when you become an open book, her interest inevitably fades. This is why so many relationships start passionately, then slide into routine. The man attempting to be a good boyfriend becomes completely predictable. He calls at the same time, takes her to the same places, reacts the same way every time. Predictability signals to her subconscious that she has figured you out. She no longer needs to invest mental energy understanding you, and when she stops investing mental energy, she stops feeling attraction. This is why the bad boy stereotype is so powerful. It's not that women are attracted to men who treat them poorly. They're attracted to unpredictable men who keep them in suspense, who don't follow the typical guy script. Women's tests. Here's what will change how you see every interaction. Women are constantly testing you. But they're not testing your competence. They're testing your level of investment. They're checking how much you need them. Every time she acts cold, mentions another guy, or seems unimpressed with your success, she's measuring your reaction to see if you'll chase her for approval. When you fail these tests by immediately trying to win back her favor, you're essentially telling her, "I like you more than you like me." And as soon as she knows that, the power dynamic shifts permanently in her favor. Once she holds that power, her attraction instinctively plummets. It's biologically impossible for her to desire a man she perceives as beneath her. Your neediness just confirmed her subconscious suspicion that you're the lower value partner. Here are examples of common tests. The comparison test. She mentions how attractive another man is or talks about an ex. Failing response, get jealous or try to outdo him. Correct response, be completely unbothered, maybe even agree. The availability test. She suggests meeting, then cancels last minute. Failing response, get upset and immediately suggest other time. Correct response, okay, no problem, and go do your own thing. The attitude test. She gets snippy or acts cold. Failing response, "What's wrong, honey?" or trying to cheer her up. Correct response, mirror her energy and be equally distant until she corrects her behavior. This isn't conscious manipulation. It's unconscious behavior driven by her need to assess your value. When you pass these tests by staying unbothered, you demonstrate that you're not desperate for her approval. The biological rejection response. When a woman perceives a man's value as low, her body literally begins rejecting him on a biological level. This doesn't happen consciously. Her brain sends signals that this man is genetically insufficient for reproduction. This manifests as loss of sexual desire, irritability, and a feeling that something is wrong. This is why women in relationships stop wanting their partners sexually. It's not because they don't love them, it's because their biology is telling them not to reproduce with someone weak. Her subconscious has decided you've become weak. You can't stand up to her, which means you can't stand up for her in the world. This is painful but liberating. When you realize her loss of interest isn't personal but biological, you can start making changes that reignite her attraction. The communication shift. There's an interesting phenomenon when a woman is unsure of your interest. She switches from covert to overt communication. Normally, women communicate with hints. "I'm cold" instead of "give me your jacket." I'm hungry instead of let's go eat, but when she's afraid of losing you, she becomes direct, more affectionate, more obvious about her feelings. She texts, I miss you, or I can't wait to see you tonight. This shift happens because her hypergamous instinct is telling her, he might be more valuable than I thought. I can't lose him. She switches to overt communication because she can't afford to risk losing a valuable prize through miscommunication. Why external success isn't enough. Most relationship advice is wrong. They tell you go to the gym, earn more, dress better. These can help, but they're not the main point. You can be the most successful, handsome man, but if you demonstrate low-value behavior through neediness and excessive availability, she will lose interest. I've seen millionaires get dumped by women earning minimum wage because the millionaires didn't understand these principles. And I've seen average guys with average jobs keep beautiful women obsessed because they understood how to maintain the psychological dynamic. They understood that attraction doesn't live in your bank account, but in the tension you create. A woman doesn't ultimately care about your wallet. She cares about how you make her feel. Real power lies in controlling her emotional state, not displaying external resources. Your behavior, not your assets, determines your rank in her eyes. External improvements open the door. Psychological positioning keeps her interested. The paradox of treatment. This is the most paradoxical point. Women often choose men who treat them worse over men who treat them better. Not because they enjoy suffering, but because poor treatment often signals high value. When a man is willing to risk losing a woman by not putting her needs at the center of the universe, it shows he has options. When he isn't seeking her approval, it means he doesn't need her validation to feel good about himself. The good guy, conversely, signals with his behavior that he's grateful just to be near her. He's so afraid of losing her that he projects low value in every action. His fear of losing her is unconsciously perceived as weakness. And weakness is the primary repellent for female attraction. This is why women stay with men who treat them poorly. They have something to reach up for. And this is why they leave men who treat them well. There's no challenge, no uncertainty, no feeling of earning something valuable. Abundance mindset. The most attractive quality a man can possess is genuine abundance mindset. The feeling that you have options and don't need this specific woman to feel complete. This isn't about actually having multiple women. It's about a mindset of non-neediness. When you have this abundance, you automatically do everything right. You don't chase, you don't overinvest, you don't sacrifice your dignity. You treat her well because you want to, not because you're afraid to lose her. This mindset is incredibly attractive because it signals high value without any effort. Investment balance. Here's a fundamental law. In any relationship, whoever invests more emotional energy has less power. Investment can be measured many ways. Who texts first? Who makes more effort to meet? Who compromises more? The person who constantly invests more will eventually lose the other's attraction. This doesn't mean you should never care. It means you must be strategic with your investment. Let her invest in you first, then match her level. Don't be the one always reaching out, always planning, always compromising. The love versus attraction distinction. The harsh reality is that love and attraction are different things. Love is about care, compatibility, and loyalty. Attraction is about challenge, uncertainty, and the feeling of reaching up for something valuable. Most men focus only on love. They're caring, supportive, faithful. But without attraction, love is worthless in maintaining passionate relationships. Attraction is the fuel that ignites passion. Love is the warmth that provides once lit. She might care about you, but she won't want you sexually. She might stay out of duty or comfort, but she won't be passionate. The men who build long, passionate relationships understand how to maintain both. They're caring but also challenging. They're loyal but not needy. They've mastered combining warmth with unpredictability, creating magnetism that's impossible to resist. Final truth. The choice is yours. You can keep playing by the good guy rules and wonder why women leave. Or you can accept this uncomfortable truth and start creating the passionate relationships you deserve. Stop trying to win her over. Become the man she feels lucky to have won over. The difference will transform not only your relationships, but your entire dynamic with women. This is the pure psychology of female attraction. Understanding it doesn't make you manipulative, it makes you aware of biological realities that govern attraction whether you acknowledge them or not. Let me tell you why I'm sharing this when most relationship advice actively conceals these truths. Because I've watched too many quality men destroy their own relationships through behaviors they were told would create attraction. I've counseled men who sacrificed everything, who gave constantly, who made women their entire priority, only to be left for men who did none of those things. And the tragedy is, these men blame themselves. They think they weren't good enough, weren't successful enough, didn't try hard enough. When the reality is they tried too hard. They invested too much too quickly. They removed all uncertainty and challenge by making their complete devotion obvious. This channel exists because I got tired of watching men operate from Disney movie frameworks about how attraction works. I got tired of men being punished for behavior society told them were virtuous. I got tired of women claiming they want one thing while consistently choosing men who provide the opposite. So if this resonated, if you recognize patterns in your past or current relationships, understand something, you're not broken for struggling with this. You were just operating with incomplete information about how female psychology actually works. Drop a comment about your experiences. Have you been the overinvested guy who lost her interest? Have you witnessed women choosing men who treat them worse? Share what you've learned. Subscribe for more truth about attraction psychology that mainstream relationship advice won't tell you. Because this channel will never tell you that being excessively available creates attraction. We'll never suggest that showering women with validation makes them want you more. We'll never frame male neediness as romantic devotion. Attraction follows rules. Understand the rules. Play by them. Build the passionate relationships that come from understanding psychology rather than fighting it. You deserve a woman who's genuinely attracted to you, not just comfortable with you. These principles create that attraction. Use them wisely. Video description: Why women lose attraction to good guys. The psychology nobody tells you. In this revealing video, Mr. Eugene exposes the single most dangerous mistake men make in relationships: excessive availability and desperate validation seeking that destroys female attraction faster than anything else. Picture this: you're dating a woman everyone wants. You treat her perfectly, flowers, expensive dinners, constant attention. You're everything she should want, but she's bored and losing interest. Why? The harsh truth: for a woman to stay attracted, she must never be 100% certain of your affection. She must always feel like she's reaching up slightly to earn your attention. The moment she feels she has completely won you over, her hunter instinct shuts down. Your predictable availability becomes a burden, not a prize. The core principles: hypergamy in biology. Women are biologically programmed to seek men with higher survival value. When you act needy or overly accommodating, you signal weakness. Her subconscious catches these signals and reduces attraction automatically. Perceived value. Actual value: your behavior matters more than your bank account. Successful lawyer who's desperate bartender with abundance mindset. Women scan for behavioral cues about your value constantly. The power of uncertainty. The less certain she is about your interest, the more mental energy she invests thinking about you. Remove all mystery through constant texting and obvious infatuation, equal to remove all attraction. Attention is currency. Your validation's value is determined by scarcity. Front-load all your compliments and enthusiasm, equal to spend your emotional budget in the first week. Make her earn your approval equal to priceless currency. The predictability death spiral: when she knows exactly how you'll react, when you become an open book, interest fades. Predictability signals she's figured you out. She stops investing mental energy. Attraction dies. Women's tests: she's constantly testing your investment level. Acts cold, mentions other guys, seems unimpressed. Failing response: chase her approval. Correct response: stay unbothered. Past tests equal to demonstrate high value. External success isn't enough. Gym, money, looks help. But low-value behavior, neediness, excessive availability destroys attraction regardless. Millionaires lose to bartenders when behavior signals desperation. The treatment paradox: women often choose men who treat them worse because poor treatment signals high value. He has options, doesn't need her approval. Good guy signals: I'm grateful you're here, equal to low value. Abundance mindset: most attractive quality equal to genuine feeling. You have options and don't need this specific woman. Not about actually having multiple women. About non-neediness mindset. Love versus attraction, different things. Love equal to care, compatibility, loyalty. Attraction equal to challenge, uncertainty, reaching up. Focus only on love without attraction equal to she cares but doesn't want you. Timestamps: 0, the dangerous mistake good guys make 5:30. Hypergamy, the biological programming 12:45. Perceived value versus actual value. 1920, the psychology of uncertainty 2640. Attention as currency 3315. The predictability death spiral 4025. Women's constant testing 4830. Why external success isn't enough 5540. The treatment paradox explained 6220. Abundance mindset power 6915. Investment balance 7545. Love versus attraction distinction 8230. Final truth: stop winning her over. Have you been the overinvested guy? Share your experiences. Subscribe for attraction psychology mainstream advice won't tell you. SEO tags: Why women lose attraction, good guys finish last, female attraction psychology, hypergamy explained. Perceived value dating, why being nice fails, women lose interest, good men, attraction not negotiable. Abundance mindset attraction, neediness kills attraction, predictability destroys attraction, women test men constantly. Sexual market value, bad boy attraction, why women choose jerks, female biology attraction, investment balance relationships, love vias attraction, scarcity creates value, validation currency, intermittent reinforcement dating, uncertainty creates attraction, behavioral cues value, frame control relationships, masculine leadership attraction, women want challenge, good guy paradox, why nice guys fail, desperate behavior repels, availability kills attraction, Mr. Eugene attraction, harsh truth female nature, biological attraction triggers, evolutionary psychology dating, unconscious attraction mechanisms, why women leave good men, treatment paradox relationships, women choose worse men, masculine abundance, stop chasing women, become high value man, attraction psychology truth.